This is registered nurse Elizabeth Wettlaufer, weeks after confessing to killing her patients. Watch what she talks about first.
So yeah, like I said, I'm just going to go through for everything in this room is audio and video recorded first off. You okay with that?
Oh, yes.
Okay, kind of thing. You did it on your own free will, and you accepted it on your own decision making. Is that correct?
Yep. I had enough, and you even let me try to give money to the homeless people. So.
There you go. I remember all of that. I'm sure that we're clear to you. And if you have any questions for me before we get started, the floor is yours. If there's anything or any concerns that you have.
No, I want to get through this and find out what happened to my mom and dad, because I know they're upset because someone went to visit them today.
Tracy May?
Yep.
Okay, and just spell your last name for the record.
Wettlaufer.
No lawyer, no hesitation, just calm. Before 8 murders, James Silcox was 84 years old, a veteran of the Second World War, living out his final years at Kerrisont Care in Woodstock, Ontario. On the night of August 11, 2007, a nurse named Elizabeth Wettlaufer came into his room to give him his evening medication, the way she had many times before. By morning, he was dead. His family was told his heart had simply given out, the kind of death nobody questions in a man his age. It would be 9 years before anyone learned otherwise. Silcox was her first. Over the next 7 years, Wettlaufer killed 7 more residents at Kerrisont Care and 1 more at Meadow Park in London, all with the same method. Insulin she had access to on every single shift. Every death was recorded as natural. No autopsy flagged it. No co-worker suspected it. The only person present at every one of those bedsides was the nurse. In September of 2016, with no warrant, no wiretap, no forensic evidence pointing her way, Elizabeth Wettlaufer walked into a Toronto psychiatric facility and told a doctor what she had done. That confession is the only reason she is in this room.
We've been provided this document here. Does that look familiar to you?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And from what I can see here, there's 4 pages of a handwritten document. Is that your handwriting?
Yes, it is.
Okay. And it just kind of goes through some people that you've encountered in your career from 2007 through to, okay. So that's kind of the focus of our investigation right now is the information that you've put on these 4 pieces of paper.
Yes.
Okay.
4 pages, a list only she could have written. Whatever she says next, they already have it on paper. Before a single victim is named, Detective Hgot lets her talk about her career. Watch what she volunteers without being asked, the jobs, the moves, the reasons she gives for each one, long before any of it becomes relevant to a murder count. This is the version of her life she chooses to lead with.
But before we get into that, I just want to kind of get an idea of your career and where you've been in your career and kind of how you got into things. And
Registered nurse. I started from here in Park Secondary School. I graduated grade 13, went for a year of journalism school.
Okay.
And then went to Bible College, London Baptist Bible College in London. Graduated with a degree in counseling, with a bachelor's degree in counseling. And then discovered that that's wasn't really going to get me a lot as far as work-wise and career-wise. And so I went back to here in Park High School for a year, and I took a year of math and sciences and went on to Conestoga College, and it's in Kitchener, but they have Stratford campus, so I went there for the 3 years.
Okay.
And then when I graduated there, I worked in a place called Geraldton.
Okay.
Which is 16 hours north of Toronto.
I was going to say that's quite a bit north, isn't it?
3 hours north of Thunder Bay.
Yeah, that's way up there.
Yeah. Worked there, couldn't stand the isolation, moved back. Worked for an organization called Christian Horizons here in town in one of their group homes till 2007, at which time my marriage fell apart in February 2007, and I met a woman online,
Okay.
and she decided to move to be with me.
Okay.
So, I ended up quitting the job I was at and going to Caressant Care to make a little bit more money because I was the only bread earner.
Mm-hmm.
So I started working at Caressant Care, I believe it was June 2007.
Okay. And how long did you work there for?
Until, 2014. Yeah, till, I think it was March 2014.
And were you always in the same role, or
As
did you do
a
different roles at Caressant Care? Or?
I was a registered nurse,
Yeah.
and registered nurse's role is always the same.
Yeah.
But, I worked in different areas of the home.
Okay.
There's 5 wings to Caressant Care, so I worked in different areas.
Right. Okay. All throughout the 7 or so years that you were there.
Yes.
Okay. And at that point, did you have different supervisors from unit to unit, or
No,
did you ever
there
report
was-
to the same person, or?
There was one supervisor, Helen Crombie, she was the head nurse.
Okay.
And then there was people under her, Shelley, Jeanette, I don't remember the rest of them. Then there was an administrative head. And I think for most of that time it was Brenda.
Right. Okay. And then from Caressant Care, I know you've had a few other.
Yeah, I went from Caressant Care, fired from Caressant Care
Okay.
for a medication error.
Yeah.
Then from there I went to Meadow Park Nursing Home.
Okay.
And left there to get help with an addiction issue,
Okay.
hoping that it would get help with that as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I came back, I started working again in January. I left Meadow Park in September of 2014, and I started working for a nursing agency called Lifeguard in 2015, and I worked with them for over a year, and then in July 2016, I started working for St. Elizabeth Healthcare.
Okay.
As well, I was still working for Lifeguard.
Oh, okay. And how did that work? Did you just split your time between the two, or was it just kind of a part-time position at both organizations?
St. Elizabeth was my priority.
Okay.
So, and Lifeguard is very much, you pick up the shifts as they come. There's very few scheduled shifts, so
Gotcha.
I could say yes and no to them and focus on St. Elizabeth.
And were those roles where you would do in-home care with different clients?
With Lifeguard, it's an agency, so you go into nursing homes, you go into people's homes, you go into retirement homes. We did a lot of different things, a lot of one-on-ones with people,
Mm-hmm.
in their own homes,
Mm-hmm.
12-hour shifts, 8-hour shifts,
Okay.
sitting with them.
Okay.
A lot of stuff I did was sitting with palliative patients.
Right. Okay. That would be tough.
It was okay.
Yeah.
Because I knew they were going to die,
Yeah.
and it was just an opportunity to give the family a rest.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
Yeah, it's an important role. I mean, a lot of people wouldn't see it that way and wouldn't even notice the care that these people are giving from people like yourself, right?
Yeah.
To give the families a bit of a break and take that role is important, which a lot of people don't see, right? So.
because when someone's dying in the house,
Mhm.
families don't want everyone to be asleep at once, right? And that can be
That's right.
very hard if you're not able to do that.
That's right.
But if you have a nurse there that says, no, it's okay, I've got this, I know the medications they get, it's going to be all right, then,
Everyone kind of rest easy.
yeah.
Yeah. Good. Back at Meadow Park, what was your addiction?
Hydromorph.
Okay. All right.
Hydromorphone.
Okay. And how much were you using? And,
I was a binge user, so I would use what I could get a hold of
okay.
by stealing it from the patient.
Okay. All right. And how would that work? Would it just be in their allotted medications, or would you have access to a card to feed your addiction? Or what is it?
There's some in their allotted medications. Some of them had confusion, so they couldn't tell the difference between what pills you were giving them, so I could give them a laxative instead of their hydromorph.
Okay.
There was a lot of them had as needed, so it would be in a big card, and then they'd say, I would just punch out that, oh, Barney needed 2 of those today, and oh, Billy needed 3 of those today when they really didn't.
Okay.
And that's how I would get a hold of it.
Okay.
Every once in a while, there was also a big drug holder, like a safe almost, that we would put the drugs in.
Okay.
Once, like if somebody died,
Yeah.
and there were like 23 hydromorph left, would slide the whole card into the drug holder. Well, if you picked it up and turned it upside down and shook it, you'd get drugs back out of it.
Okay.
So,
So you had your ways.
yes.
Yeah. Okay. And was that ever an issue with Stadler? Were you ever confronted, or did that go totally undetected for the time you were there?
There was a time when hydromorph was delivered to the home, and it didn't get put away right away by the person who should have. And so I took the hydromorph and put it in my bag and took it home, and it wasn't discovered for months.
Okay.
And so I just played dumb. When the police phoned about it, I played dumb.
Yeah. And that was that.
Yeah.
All right. So as a binge user, then, like, how much would you be using on a? I mean, obviously, you wouldn't use it on a daily basis if you're binge
Yeah.
using, but like, how long did the addiction last for?
Oh, the addiction lasted from, I think it started in 2008.
Okay.
So to 2014, at which time I went away and got treatment at a treatment center.
Okay.
But then I started using again, probably January 2016, I started using again.
Okay. And are you still using when you get your hands on them, or?
No, no. I'm going to stop using alcohol as well. I have friends in AA, and I've got a very clear plan. If I'm able to be out and about,
Right.
I have a very clear plan. And I also know if I'm not able to be out and about, that AA and Narcotics Anonymous do have some programs where they come into prison.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
that's my plan.
Well, that's good that you have a plan. What do you think the reason is that you slipped into the addiction back in a way? Like, what do you think? Is it just the stresses of the job that you were facing, or dealing with your personal life as well? And
just always feeling like I had to be the best possible person, and very, very stressful job, giving medications to 32 people, making sure treatments were done on 32 people, charting for 32 people, supervising 4 PSWs who sometimes didn't always get along, and sometimes didn't always get along with me. It's a hard job. Any nurse will tell you it's a hard job.
I believe it 100%.
And then they would add different things like, oh, you have to do this and that to say who's here, and counting the medications at the end of the shift, and it was a hard job. And I always was putting this pressure on myself to be a really good nurse and to do everything perfectly. And every once in a while, when I could get a hold of a hydromorph or two and take it, then that pressure was gone.
Right.
She frames every relapse the same way, as pressure finding its release, a build-up followed by a moment that makes it stop. In a few minutes, she will use the identical language for something much worse than a stolen pill, and the audience should notice the sentence structure hasn't changed at all, only the stakes have.
And the treatment center that you went away to, where was that?
I cannot remember. I've tried to remember.
Yeah. Was it local or?
No, it was out of town. It was like a good 2-hour drive.
Okay.
You know where the locks are?
Yeah.
Near Niagara.
Welland.
Welland?
Yeah.
It's a little town outside of Welland.
Okay.
And they have it's an 18-day treatment that they have, and I was successful. I went through the whole thing.
Nice. So all 18 days?
Yes.
Okay. And it helped?
Yes. Yes.
What about family? You're born and raised Woodstock?
Yeah, born and raised in Woodstock, married from 97 to 2007.
Okay.
We broke up. February 2007. No children. I wanted them, he never did. My mom and dad are in their 70s, 75 and 76. I have cousins all over the area.
Yeah.
And my brother and his wife and 4 kids, they live in,
Okay.
and they're quite active. The oldest one is 26 and he's got a wife and 2 kids. He lives with his parents. They all live with the parents except for my...
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, just one big
Yeah.
house of
It's a
crazy.
happy family, huh? Have you been out to visit at all, Benavides, or?
I've been to see their house once.
Yeah.
They've been here a few times.
Nice.
They came in 2013 for my parents' 50th wedding anniversary.
Nice.
And my nephew and his wife stayed behind and lived with my parents for a few months while my nephew tried to go to Bible college.
Okay.
But he wasn't successful, so they went back.
Yeah. So is your brother older or younger than you?
Older.
Older.
He's 3 years older than me.
Okay.
He's 52.
Right on. Good, good. So as far as your latest position at St. Elizabeth,
Yeah.
that was your last position as a RN, is that
Yes,
correct?
it was.
Okay. And you said you resigned from there?
Yeah.
Okay. What brought you to that?
That's where things get a little crazy.
Okay.
This is part that I haven't told the doctors. Because it seems so stupid now. When my ex and I broke up in 2007, I was already taking the medication for my borderline personality disorder. And I was so angry. And it was like a voice said inside me, I'll use you, don't worry about it. And the different times that I have caused people's deaths or caused them discomfort through the insulin, I believe it was the influence of that voice or whatever it was. It wasn't a voice in my head, it was a voice in here. And when I would do it, afterwards I would hear like a laughter in my chest. So, started working for St. Elizabeth, and I was doing well, but it was a lot of pressure. And the way that, that I've helped people to die has been through insulin. And after my 30-day evaluation, my supervisor came to me and said, I'm really sorry. We wanted you for Woodstock, but we have so many kids in schools in Ingersoll that need help with their insulin pumps that you're going to start working in Ingersoll.
Okay.
And I panicked. I didn't want to do that. Because I thought, what if? Those are kids. So it was about a week after that I quit. Yeah. And then I packed my stuff in the car, and I drove 2 days into Quebec, thinking like I would just sort of run away sort of thing. And then I thought, no, that's just stupid. So I came back, and I was going to tell my parents what was going on, but they had visitors from Scotland, so I didn't tell them. I just, spent 2 weeks pretending to go to work.
Okay.
While the visitors from Scotland were here.
Right.
It's funny, but it's not funny. And then, once they left, I decided I didn't want to nurse anymore. I didn't want to hurt anybody anymore. So I also quit my other job. And then I decided, whatever Friday that was, that, I did a lot of looking into how I could get help. Because I realized I needed help with whatever this was.
Right.
Because part of me had started to believe that it was the devil. And part of me thought it might be God as a purpose through my life. And I know the doctor asked me those questions, but I didn't answer them because I was so ashamed. But I I didn't want this to keep going on. So So I quit both jobs. Looked into where I could get help. Dr. Fernando is my psychiatrist, and he's not a very nice man. So I went on an online support group and was talking to people on there, and they were saying, get some help. So then I started researching some psych boards and stuff, and I saw CAMH, and they are the only mental health facility in Ontario that has an emergency department.
Okay.
So I made a decision, and I went there one Friday morning. I took the train, and off I went. And before I went, I told 3 people what was going on. My friend from AA, and my friend, I told them what was going on. They said, yes, go and get help. And my friend drove me to the train station.
And when you say you told them what was going on, did you get into details of why you were going to seek help? Or?
I told them that I had been killing people using an insulin overdose. And they all said, yes, you better go get help. So off I went.
Okay. And
she's a friend from when I used to work at...
Okay. All right. His last name? Okay. And she drove you to the train station on the Friday morning?
Yeah.
To the Woodstock train station?
Yep.
Okay. And then your other friend?
Is my cousin.
Okay. And she's a cousin of yours?
Yeah, she lives in BC.
Okay. And if you don't want to tell me, that's fine, based on the reason why this person may or may not be a friend, but your AA friend.
My AA friend, yeah.
Okay.
I can tell you her first name, but
okay.
Otherwise it's confidentiality.
And I don't want to dig into that at this point. That's not a problem at all. So did you disclose the same thing to all those 3 people?
That I had been giving insulin overdoses. I didn't say why, because at that point I felt so stupid.
She checked herself into a psychiatric hospital and told 3 people the truth before she ever told a doctor, let alone a police officer. No warrant forced any of this, no informant, no forensic lead. Every fact in the next 2 hours exists because she chose, entirely on her own, to build the case against herself, 1 page at a time.
And Beth, to be honest with you, I admire the way that you're conducting yourself and telling us and having this conversation with me. I thank you for that. And I'm not here to judge in any way.
I know.
So I want you to know that. And I'm not a doctor. I know you spent a lot of time at CAMH the last 3 weeks, right?
Yeah.
And I'm far from a doctor, but I do appreciate you telling me the truth and telling me the way that these things happened and played out.
Yeah.
And I admire you for that.
And it's been a while because I've been stewing about, do I give the names of the people that I killed?
Right.
Because then here's 8 families that thought that their family member died peacefully and normally, and they didn't. And what's that going to do to those families?
Right.
And even up to going to the hospital, I decided I was just going to give the first names. And my cousin said, listen, they know what years you worked there. If you don't tell them the exact names, they're going to go in there and go over every single file. And that's going to be even worse for the families there.
Right.
So that she was the one to give me that advice, to give the names.
And as far as you know, have these people reached out to any of the police agencies where they may reside to notify that you told them this? Or
no.
Did you tell them in kind of confidence?
I told them in confidence, and they said they promised me they wouldn't tell anyone.
Okay.
But basically the impliance was if I didn't get help,
right,
then they'd be on the phone the next day.
I got you. So did you tell them basically then on
I told them
Thursday?
I told them the night before I went.
Okay, so Thursday night?
Yeah.
And then you took off Friday morning?
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's basically what they said was, if you haven't gotten help Friday, then we're calling the police. We love you, but we're calling the police.
Well, they just probably felt that they had an obligation, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Maybe a moral obligation or however they saw it, right?
Yeah.
What medications are you on right now?
She names 8 families by count before a single detective in this room ever asks her how many people she killed. That number, 8, is coming directly from her, unprompted, not read back to her from a file the police already had.
I'm taking fluvoxamine. It's called Luvox, 200 milligrams. It's anti-obsessional and an antidepressant. I'm taking 300 milligrams of Seroquel, which is an antipsychotic, and they upped that when I was at KNH, which has really helped clear my thinking.
Has it? Good.
And then I'm taking a couple of blood pressure medications, and then I've got some loxapine for when I get really agitated.
Okay. And when we left the hospital, you had taken, I believe, some Ativan, is that right?
I took 2 milligrams of Ativan when we left the hospital.
Right.
Which was, you guys noted the time, 1:30 or something like that.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
And I've had nothing since.
Okay. And I know that the Dr. Khan provided with a prescription that...
Yeah, and he also gave me 2 loxapines.
Yeah.
And was very strict. I am not to take them till all the interviews are over, because they will start to interfere with my thinking.
Okay.
And then let's use the interview.
Yeah, exactly. And do you feel that you have a clear, sound mind right now?
Yes, I do.
Conversing with me in this room?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
And everything that you're telling me is the truth and the best that you can remember?
Yes. Yeah.
I could appreciate where you're coming from as far as the work that you went through. Obviously, I've never been a nurse and I've never worked in the profession that you did, but I could imagine how overwhelming it is.
Yes.
Having a lot of responsibility, maybe not having the support of the administration or your supervisors, just kind of go out and get it done, right?
Yeah.
And that could be, I could see how that would be stressful, and I could see how that would drive you maybe into your addiction and to other things. But I want to just go over this document, if that's okay with you.
Yeah.
Okay, would you be willing to do that with me?
Yeah.
Okay. And you do your thing.
Sorry.
No, don't be sorry. Absolutely not.
This is pretty, major. I've only ever had parking tickets. I've never been arrested for anything.
Well, like I said, you're not under arrest
I
right
know.
now, but it is a very significant investigation, you're right.
I understand.
And like I said before, Beth, I do appreciate you speaking with us, and I can imagine that, does it feel like a weight off your shoulders?
Yes.
You've been carrying a burden for quite some time.
And I've tried to get help a couple of times.
Yeah. Well, sometimes it takes a few attempts to finally commit to it, right?
Yeah, I had a pastor that I told, and he prayed over me and told me I'd be fine. And that was God's grace. And then...
When was that?
That was Halloween 2013.
Okay.
All right.
So before we get into this, I know that there's a statement which we have and that I've watched where you attended the police station in Toronto at 52 Division. Is that correct?
Yes, that's
Okay.
correct.
And I honestly, I think it was Detective Hamilton, and I honestly can't remember the other detective's name now. I know it started with an A. And you met with them for, I was going to say about an hour and a half.
That was nuts.
Yeah. And at that point, you had in your possession a photocopy of this document,
Yes,
right?
right.
And you went through and you read it out.
Yes.
Okay. And then following that, they started with the first name on the list, and they wanted to just try and get a little bit more detail of
Yes.
of the involvement in each circumstance, in
Okay.
each death, right?
Okay.
That's what I'd like to do today, and just get some more detail.
Okay.
Okay? So,
It's a long list.
it is, but I think that you and I think we can get through it together.
Yeah, I'm sure we can. As long as you're patient with me.
I've got all the time in the world. I'm not going anywhere.
Because I'm physically comfortable. It's a nice chair, but...
Yeah. Well, anytime you need to get up and wander around, like I said, if you want to take a break and have me leave and just kind of stretch your legs and whatever the case may be, go ahead.
Okay.
Okay, if you have to use your washroom anytime, just let me know.
All right.
Okay? Because like I said, I'm here as long as we need to be.
Okay.
Okay, and I'm not pressuring you to stay any longer than you want to, but I think that if we just kind of sit down and go through this, like I said, we'll get through it together.
Yes.
I'm a pretty patient person, and I'm here to just listen to what you have to tell me. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, and like I said, I appreciate it. Okay. So, how about we just do this together? I'll just bring this over here. Is that okay?
Sure.
Okay. So I'm not going to have you read through this entire document because you already did that, right?
I have written it, I have read it, I have, lived it, so.
Yeah, absolutely.
The document has 8 names on it, written in her own hand at a psychiatric hospital weeks earlier. Detective Hgot starts at the top, in the order she wrote them, not the order police found them, and not the order the public will eventually learn them in.
Yes.
Okay, September of 2007.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's the first one that died as a result of what I did.
Okay. And before you get into that, you have signed some kind of page numbers, all that kind of stuff on each of these documents. So we'll just go in order of how you've written it, okay? And I know that the detectives in Toronto kind of had this in their possession and just kind of got you to recall some things.
Yeah.
I'm just going to keep it here because, you've already written this out. So what's on here is we already know that. I just have some follow-up questions just with regards to each circumstance. So Mr. Silcox, it says here you were working a double shift from 3 till 7, right?
3 p.m. to 7 a.m.
Right. Okay. And this was at Crescent Care?
Yes.
Okay, in Woodstock?
Yes.
Okay. And tell me about your knowledge of James and your daily interactions during a shift with him.
I didn't see him every time. He wasn't always my patient. I just knew from what people had said that he would grab the nurse's breasts and buttocks, and he would say horribly inappropriate things about his wife, that now he was there, he was going to fuck all of she was going to fuck all of Woodstock, and just would say inappropriate things. And he did touch me inappropriately once.
And where was that?
On
your
my
body?
breast.
On your breast. Okay. And were you alone in the room at that point?
Yes.
Okay. Did he have a roommate at all? Did Jim have a roommate?
He must have. He wasn't in a single room. So he was either in a double room or a quadruple room.
Okay. Would you remember any other residents that would be roomed with him at that time? Or?
No.
No? Okay.
No.
That's okay. What portion of the home was James in at this point?
He was in there's an east wing, south wing, north wing. He was in the north wing, about halfway down, and he was either in a double bed or a quadruple bed.
Okay. All right. And the diagnosis of his health at the time you were caring for him, you remember?
He was post-hip surgery and he had dementia.
Do you remember how old he was approximately?
No, I don't. I'm going to say 80s.
In his 80s?
Yeah.
And, sorry, he was not a diabetic?
Not a diabetic.
And, sorry, you said he had dementia?
Yes.
Okay, which you've also noted here as well, right?
Yes.
Okay. So tell me about the night. Was this the first person that you did this to? That
I tried. Well, there were other people that I'd done it to who didn't die.
Prior to James?
Prior to James.
Okay, and are they documented on here?
He's the first one who died.
Right.
Back here?
But there's some other...
People who didn't die.
Right, so I can't read that first name.
Clotilda Adriana.
Okay, so that was, they're both September 2007, but that was before James?
Yeah.
Okay. So was this your first attempt at overdosing these people on insulin?
Yes, Clotilda was.
Clotilda.
And I didn't really want her to die. I don't know, I was just angry and had this sense inside me that she might be a person that God wanted back with him.
Okay. And is that feeling you're referring to that you had in your stomach at times?
Yes.
Okay. Is that the point, and I hate to get off topic here, but the point where you had these feelings in your stomach and almost that laughter after it happened, is that the part that you didn't tell Dr. Khan?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I just wanted to be clear on that.
I told him about the laughter in my stomach, but not the feeling that this might be the person that God wants.
Okay.
Because I just sounded so stupid.
It's your feelings, right?
I honestly felt like God wanted to use me. And Dr. Khan kept asking me, do you think God chose me for a special purpose? I kept saying no, because that did not sound like a special purpose,
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I just had a sense after my marriage broke up that God was going to use me for something. And then after a while I started to really wonder after some of the murders if it was God or if it was the devil fooling me.
Did you feel like you were doing the right thing for these people?
No. No. I felt like I was doing what I was supposed to do, but it wasn't what was right for them.
So James, then, it was in the evening that this one took place, right?
Yeah.
It says here at about 9:30.
Yeah.
Run me through.
About
portion of
9:30, I gave him a dose of 50 milligrams of insulin. He's not diabetic. So I went into it. I used a borrowed insulin pen, borrowed insulin, and gave him an insulin shot. And at 3:30, the PSW, well, throughout the night he was yelling out, "I love you," and "I'm sorry." And not to me, but just you could hear him calling out in his room, and that's what he was calling out. And then at 3:30, the PSWs came to me and said that he was gone. So I did what we're supposed to do. I went and listened to his heart and chest, called the doctor, called the family because that's what they wanted. Family came in and sit with him for a while. Doctor came in and said that his cause of death was from an embolism due to his post-hip. He'd had to get surgery. Doctor ruled it embolism due to post-hip surgery.
Who do you think he was talking to when he was yelling out, "I love you"?
I thought it might be his family. I really did. And when they came in and talked to me, they wanted to know if he'd said anything. So I told them that I was so ashamed. So ashamed. Yeah.
When you were speaking with the family?
Yeah.
And is that the family that kind of commended you for the work that you had done? And
yes, and that I've been there for him, and yes.
How did that make you feel?
Awful. Absolutely awful.
How did you deal with it?
I just went home, went to bed. You know, I felt awful. Maybe I fought with my girlfriend. Did some exercising, you know.
Yeah.
Played some games on the computer and just tried to forget about it.
Did you have a problem sleeping that night at all, or anything like that, or did you?
Well, I was working nights, so I was.
During the day then.
I would say I tossed and turned a bit. Yeah. Felt pretty bad. And I didn't want to see the family again. So I tried to make sure I wasn't working when they came to pick up his stuff, and I wasn't.
And what room, do you remember, like a room number, or just, like you
said? No, it was down in our phone.
The wing, yeah. Okay. Where did you get the insulin from for James, for Mr. Silcox? You said you had taken some insulin, and where did you get those?
The insulin was kept in a fridge in the medication room. Okay. We had 2 medication rooms. Insulin was kept in a fridge in the medication room, and extra pens were kept in the drawer. So you could just say somebody had someone admitted and you needed a pen in a hurry. So you just put the insulin in the pen and put the needle on and dial up the dose and give it.
And how was that documented to know that, so that Crescent Care would know that you were taking that insulin?
They didn't keep track of insulin.
Okay. Just something that was available for the nurses' use when they knew that it was appropriate for the certain patients.
Yes. Now each patient has their own insulin.
Right.
And maybe somebody may have noticed that a lot of insulin was missing if a lot was used, but I was always careful to use different people.
Okay. Different people's insulin?
Insulin, yes.
Okay. All right. And Mr. Silcox, then, where did you inject the insulin into his body?
I'm not really sure. I'm going to say his arm or his torso.
And did he know what was going on at that point?
Not really.
Was he a verbal patient? Like, could he converse
with
you and communicate?
He didn't really converse. He did a lot of yelling out. I don't really remember him reacting when I gave it to him.
So, he didn't react?
I don't remember him reacting, no.
Okay. Would he maybe just think it's a regular portion of his day and receiving medications that he so required?
Probably today, I dementia.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you can remember about Mr. Silcox?
His wife and daughter loved him a lot.
Mm-hmm. And how does that make you feel?
Crappy.
Yeah.
Horrible. Yeah, like I said, he could be a bit of a handful, but, you know, he ate and drank normally, he took his pills when you told him to, so nothing else I can really remember about him. But this is, 9 years ago, so.
It's a while ago.
Yeah.
How long after, sorry, when did you break up with your husband?
I broke up with him...
Was it August 2007?
Oh, no. I broke up with him in end of January, beginning of February 2007.
Okay, so it was quite some time till September until you actually...
Yeah.
All right, I guess.
By that time, I was in a new relationship with a woman.
Okay. Who was that?
Her name was Maureen.
Okay. Did you ever disclose to her what you were doing?
No, absolutely not.
So you just kind of went about your thing with Mr. Silcox?
Yeah.
Went home that day, did your kind of some exercising, computer games, went to sleep. Did you work again that next day?
I don't remember.
Don't remember. Do you remember who you would have been working with on that occasion?
No.
No?
No, I don't. I'm sorry.
Okay. Are you okay?
Yeah.
You want to get up and stretch?
I just do a lot of fidgeting.
Okay, that's okay. Hey, you're not bothering me. I just want to make sure that you're comfortable.
Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay.
If I need something, I'll do it.
Okay. Gotcha. Do you remember who your supervisor would have been at that point?
Well, that would be Helen Crombie.
That was the head nurse?
Yeah, she was always, like, whoever was on as the nurse was the charge nurse.
Okay.
So I was the charge nurse. And at night, so as the charge nurse from 3 to 11, I was in charge of 8 PSWs. And I was and then there was 2 other wings. And so at night, as the charge nurse, I was responsible to look after the RPN on the other side, like be a resource for her.
Okay.
There were 4 PSWs on that side and 4 PSWs on my side, so 9 people.
Okay.
And then Mrs. Crombie, of course, she was around with me.
Okay. She just rotates.
Yeah. But she's who we all answered to.
Okay.
She was, her and the executive director, Brenda, I don't remember her last name. I'm sorry, I'm probably gonna pass gas with Ms. Julie.
That's fine. Don't worry about it. So, as far as Mr. Silcox goes then, besides what you were feeling in your stomach, and besides that you thought that this was a purpose that you were given on from your relationship forward after breaking up with your husband, right?
Yeah.
You indicated that he wasn't a very nice man.
No, he wasn't.
Is that a portion of what happened?
I don't know.
Okay.
I wonder if that's a portion of how I chose him.
Mm-hmm.
And afterwards I did feel a release and a relief.
Mm-hmm.
Like a relief of pressure.
Okay. Because throughout this document, and as we go through it, a lot of these people, you kind of describe them as not very nice people.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if that's a tendency or a pattern that we see as far as, is that why you chose these people?
Yeah, I'm not, it might be, but I also know I just felt like they were the ones.
Right.
I had a feeling inside that they were the ones.
Before you injected insulin to Mr. Silcox, was it a spur of the moment thing? Had you thought about it when you reported for duty at 3 o'clock in the afternoon?
I started thinking about it about 6 at night, I think.
Okay.
She has just told him her chosen victims weren't very nice people, the closest she comes, anywhere in this interview, to offering a justification. Notice that she doesn't fully commit to it either. A few sentences later, she admits it might not even be true, just something she needed to believe at the time.
And do you remember who the pronouncing doctor would have been?
No.
Like how did that process work?
That process, the way it worked was person's found with no vital signs. Nurse goes in with the stethoscope, listens for 1 minute. If there's no heartbeat, no lung sounds, nurse goes and calls the doctor on call.
Okay.
There was also a sheet that we had to fill out if we thought it was a coroner's case. In this case, I don't believe we thought it was. And then family is called. And the doctor may wait to come in and pronounce in the morning.
Okay.
Family can come in and visit the body at any time.
Okay.
So then the PSWs would get the body ready.
Okay. So prior to the doctor announcing in the morning, the family could come in and spend time?
Yeah, so the PSWs would just clean them up, put on, clean breeches and
right.
clean up the bed and stuff.
Right. So you said, Mr. Silcox, you said we didn't think it was a coroner's case. Whose decision would have that been?
I guess I'm using the royal we.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. So would that be just a decision that you were trusted to make?
No, there's a form
Okay.
on the computer, and you go down through it, and if you tick off anything that says yes, you notify the coroner.
Okay. All right. But you would have clicked off those boxes yourself?
Yes.
Okay. So obviously, knowing that you had done this to Mr. Silcox, did you feel that you wouldn't click yes so that attention wouldn't be drawn to you?
You know, I honestly can't remember if he was a coroner case or not.
Okay.
He might have been.
Now, would insulin...
Even though I did this to these people, when I did their... But see, it's phrased as, does anyone have a reason to believe that this death was not natural?
Right.
So, yeah, I wouldn't click that one. If I had done any, so, yeah, you're right.
Okay. All right. And I just wanted to clarify that.
Yeah, yeah.
That was just a question. Okay. Anything else you can think about from Mr. Silcox?
No.
Okay. Granat is next on the list. The man she says used to grab at the nurses. He is her second victim, killed within months of her first, on a floor where she wasn't even his assigned nurse that day, filling in for someone else's shift.
Maurice. How did you pronounce Maurice's last name?
Granat.
Is it Granat? Okay. So tell me a little bit about Maurice. This says that this occurred in September or October of 2007. And this was at Crescent Care?
Yep.
Okay. Tell me a little bit about your interaction with Maurice.
He was another one who liked to grab breasts and asses.
Okay.
He was sometimes a patient of mine. See, at that time, I didn't have a set floor that I worked on. I worked on all the different floors as a nurse, kind of filling in.
Okay.
So, one afternoon I was working with him and he did grab me. And again, I got that feeling inside that this is his time to go. So I gave him an overdose of insulin after supper. And I believe he died the next day.
And what was your shift at? Do you remember what shift you were working at that
It
point?
was 3 to 11.
3 p.m.?
Yeah, to 11 p.m.
Till 11 p.m. So like
So
an afternoon shift.
he died when I wasn't there.
Okay. And he was known for, it says here, grabbing the staff's breasts and asses.
Yes.
Okay. And do you remember who you would have been working with at that point?
No.
Okay. Do you remember where Maurice was within Crescent Care?
Yeah, he was down in the north wing. I think he was in a double room on the right-hand side.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you remember who his roommates would have been at all?
No, I don't. But I do remember that when he started going downhill after the insulin overdose, they moved him to the palliative care room right by the nurse's desk.
Okay. And at what point of the day do you think that I think you said this already, but just to confirm, what time of the day do you think it was when you had injected him with
When I injected him, it was afternoon. I think it was 4:30, 5:30.
Okay. All right. And what was his reaction to receiving the insulin?
Again, it was just kind of like, oh, okay. I just said, the doctor wants you to have a vitamin shot. That's what I usually say.
And was he able to communicate? Was he verbal?
He was verbal.
Could converse?
Not totally, but he could say some things, yes.
Okay. All right. And did he question this vitamin shot at all?
No.
And he passed away the next day?
Yeah.
Okay. So, being that you weren't there when he had passed away, you wouldn't have been the one checking the boxes.
That's right.
So, do you know, by chance, what nurse would have been responsible for Mr. Granat?
No, I don't.
No?
No.
Okay. Did you ever have any concerns that he didn't pass away while you were working and that, suspicion may arise?
No, I didn't. Well, yes, I did a little bit. I always wondered if they'd find the site where I gave the shot and something, there'd be an investigation. I always wondered that.
Right.
But other than that, no.
And even though it passed through your mind, you just continued on about your duties?
Yep.
Okay. And do you remember what part of the body he would have been injected in?
Maybe the leg. because at that point he didn't have a lot of body fat, so
Maurice didn't?
he didn't know. And when you get a subcutaneous injection, it goes in to the body fat, so.
Okay. And you documented that he was a cancer patient?
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember what type of cancer he had?
I think it was prostate.
Prostate?
Prostate, yes.
Okay. And what did the outcome hold for his future as far as the cancer in his body?
He was dying.
How old do you think Maurice was?
75, 76.
Okay. I'm sorry, he was in a double room?
Yeah, I believe it was a double room, yes.
Okay. Do you remember who you had been working with that day?
No.
Same supervisor or the church or the head nurse?
No. Sorry,
That's okay.
It's so far.
It's a long time ago.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it's a significant event in your life, but it's a long time ago.
Yeah.
So I'm not concerned that you can't remember every question that I ask you. If you can do the best that you can, that's all I can ask for.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else you can remember about Maurice at all?
Not really, no.
No. Okay. Do you know if he was a coroner's case?
There were people who loved him, that's what I remember. I don't know if he was a coroner's case.
Who loved Maurice? Who did you know that would come visit him?
He had friends that would come and visit him, that were like family to him. A man and a woman, that's all I remember.
And how did it make you feel when Maurice passed away?
Not good.
And what happened from there?
I wasn't there when he passed away. I didn't work that day.
Do you remember if you worked the next day?
I might have. I know when I found out that he died, I looked to see how long it took, and I read the notes and stuff to see what it got.
Okay.
And just getting a point out to fidget with.
Yeah, no problem. Whatever you need. So after you found out he had passed, you kind of read through the documents, and
yeah.
do you remember seeing anything that kind of said,
No.
This isn't a good thing for me, or?
No.
Okay. So.
And even if I had, I couldn't have altered them.
You could have, or
could not.
Okay. The next person on your list is Helen Matheson.
Yeah.
Okay. So you go from September or October to 07.
Yeah.
And then Helen was 2011.
Yeah.
What happened between those years?
I think you'll see that
Was there some attempts? In 08 and 09?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And we'll get to those.
Yeah.
Okay.
Helen, I don't remember a lot about. She was very quiet, very determined. Just seemed to be waiting to die.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I had that feeling that, this is the one.
Mm-hmm.
And I made a bit of a fuss about her that night because she was very lucid.
Mm-hmm.
And we talked about how much she liked blueberry pie and ice cream.
Okay.
So on my break, I went to Walmart. I got a small blueberry pie and some ice cream and brought it to her, and she ate 3 or 4 bites.
Nice.
And then that night I overdosed her. Because, like I said, I had that feeling that it was her time to go. And
what do you mean by that? Do you think she was towards the end of her life at that point?
I know that she was the person to go next.
Okay. And that was in your mind, in your stomach? Where was that feeling?
In my chest
In your
area.
chest.
And after I did it, I got that laughter.
Okay. When would you feel that laughter? Would you feel it right after you injected it, or once the person passed away?
Both.
Yeah.
Both.
Okay. And Helen was, you state here that she wasn't a diabetic?
No.
Okay. Just out of curiosity, how much insulin would it take to kill someone that wasn't a diabetic? Or
I don't know.
You don't know that?
No. So it was kind of hit and miss.
You didn't know that as a nurse, that this amount? Or?
No, there is no set amount.
Okay. And I simply just don't know that answer.
There is no set amount.
Okay. All right, so different people would react differently to different amounts, is that fair to say?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And would it obviously make a difference if they were diabetic or not a diabetic?
Yeah. I believe she died the next day.
Okay. And it said, I have a note here, the doctor declared her to be palliative, and she died 2 days later.
2 days later, okay.
And do you remember how much insulin that you had given Helen?
60? I don't know.
And where would you have gotten that from?
From the same supplies I always get it.
Okay. Do you remember where Helen was in in Crescent Care?
Yes, she was on the south wing, and probably about 4 doors down from the nurse's station, in a double room on the right-hand side. If you were facing the end, she was on the right-hand side.
You don't say a lot of negative things about Helen here. Did you get along with her okay? Did she ever do anything to harm you, or?
No, she was very quiet. It was just, I got that feeling that she's an exit to her time to go.
And her health at that point, what was her diagnosis?
She was, I couldn't tell you her diagnosis, just that she didn't get out of bed a lot, and she had to be fed her food and fed her pills. So she was near her end of life.
How old do you think Helen was when this happened?
I'd say about 85 or 86.
And do you remember what doctor were you there when she passed away 2 days later?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? So you wouldn't be which doctor pronounced her, even
No.
be too sure?
Once I gave the insulin overdose, unless I was there for the shift I died, it kind of laid low and didn't, have anything to do with them.
So if you issued an insulin injection to somebody, Helen, for instance, do you remember where Helen was injected?
Probably her arm.
Okay. So do you remember if she had a reaction at all?
A reaction?
Did you know if she confronted you in what you were doing at all? Was she able to?
She might have said, ow.
Was she used to getting insulin or needles?
I don't know if she was.
All right. But she wasn't combative or she didn't confront you and ask you what you were doing?
No.
Okay. All right. And you said once you gave them their insulin,
I tried to stay away from it. Sometimes I was very interested to see what was happening. I would just try to stay away from it.
Okay. Would you ever go back into their rooms while they were still alive to see kind of how they were progressing through the?
If they were my charge, yes, I had to.
Okay. Even though you had attempted to take their lives.
Yeah.
Okay. And you would. What kind of symptoms would they show? Is it different for everyone? Or?
Well, usually they'd get very diaphoretic, red. They could lose consciousness. They'd shake. Some people, one person had a seizure. I think it was just one person. 2 people stroked right out.
Right after receiving the...
Not right after, but they stroked out.
Over time.
Actually 3 people, because they believe James stroked out as well. So.
Mr. Silcox.
Mr. Silcox, yeah.
Okay.
The document's 4th victim, Mary Zurawinski, November 2011. 4 years after her first, at the same nursing home, with the same insulin, still undetected. In 4 years, nobody in this building had once flagged a pattern.
Okay. November 2011. Mary Zurawinski, is that?
Yeah.
How you recall her last name being pronounced?
Yeah.
And this was at Crescent Care?
Yeah.
Okay, and you said that she wasn't a diabetic, but she had dementia?
That's right.
Okay.
But she could talk and communicate a lot.
Mary could?
Yeah, she was feisty.
Was she?
Yeah. She didn't hurt the nurses or anything. She was just very outspoken and feisty, and one night she said, I'm going to die tonight.
Mary said that?
Yeah. And I said, oh. And she said, yeah, why don't you get me into the deathbed so I can die? And I said, are you sure? And she said, yeah, put me to bed, I'm going to die. So I said, okay, and I went to the other nurse that was working with me, and she said, oh, okay, well, let's put her inside this care room if that's what you want. So we did, and then I thought, well, she must be the next one. I had a feeling inside of me she must be the next one. Because she was saying she was going to die, but there was no signs she was going to die. So I gave her an overdose of insulin. And she became palliative and she died. I think within a couple of days.
Where was that in relation to where she was? Like, where was Mary in Crescent?
She was down the south wing, a couple of rooms down from the nurse's office. And, so we did put her in the palliative bed.
And would that be a decision that you would make, or someone else would have to make for you?
Together we made it.
Okay. But a supervisor wouldn't have to say, okay,
No.
go ahead and...
No, we had enough autonomy that if we thought someone was, palliative, we could call the doctor, tell him what was going on, move the person to the palliative bed, and get orders for palliative care.
Okay. And do you remember how much insulin you would have given Mary?
I think she may have been the first person that I gave long-acting and short-acting to together.
Okay.
I think.
And can you just, well, besides the actual obvious, in the title of the actual drug itself, long-acting and short-acting, what was the biggest difference between the two?
One drops your blood sugar right away. The other starts working through your body and dropping it gradually over a long period of time. It just keeps dropping it.
Okay. And what would the combination of those two do together? Did you know?
I didn't know for sure, but I figured it would be much stronger than just a short-acting.
Right. Okay. Which makes sense.
Yeah.
I think you would know more than I would, but... do you remember where you injected Mary?
Probably her arm.
In her arm.
And I told her it was for her pain.
And you know she was in a single room, double room?
Well, we had moved her from the double room to the palliative care room, right kitty corner from the nurse's office.
So where did you inject her? In the palliative bed or
in
her...
the palliative bed.
Okay. And she had vocalized to you that she thought that she was going to die that night?
Yeah. So I thought, okay, she must be the one. When I gave the insulin, I got that feeling inside and the laughter.
Has she ever said something to you before about wanting to die?
Not like that. No, she was like, I want to die, I want to die, I want to die tonight. I'm being dead, I'm going to die.
And that was new to you?
Yes.
Do you remember what shift you were working?
Afternoon, 3 to 11.
Okay. And about what time do you think you would have moved her into the palliative bed and injected her?
Might have been after supper, so about 7.
And had Mary ever done anything to harm you or
No.
upset you in any way?
No. No, she was fun.
Okay. She was funky and outspoken.
Yeah.
Do you remember being present when she died?
I don't think I was.
All right. And therefore probably wouldn't be a part of checking the boxes?
No, I didn't do the boxes for her.
Who was there to see Mary on a regular basis? Who came to see Mary?
I don't know.
No.
I don't know.
Do you know if she had family?
Maybe a son, but I don't know.
Alright. And Mary being, we'll refer to her as your fourth victim.
Yes.
The fourth person that you were successful in these insulin injections. How did your emotions start to feel as it kept continuing?
I kept having a lot of guilt. A lot of guilt. Mary, well, as you'll see, after Mary was Gladys, and after Gladys there was a period of 2 years where I didn't do it. 3 years where I didn't do it.
What was going on in your life at that point?
I was trying very, very hard to get close to God, to make sure that this wasn't Him, and to just live my life, read the Bible, go to church, and not do that because I didn't want to do it anymore. So I tried very hard. I'm still using a little bit.
The hydromorphs?
Yeah.
And alcohol?
Yeah.
What was your drink of choice?
Rye.
Yeah.
So I shouldn't say it like that, but I make it sound like it's, yeah, rye.
Would you?
Rye, Bailey's.
Yeah.
Yeah, pop a rye and pop down some water.
Yeah.
Yeah, rye and water.
Okay. And typically how much would you drink in a week?
In a week, probably about 8 or 9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like shots of rye or?
Drinks. I don't know.
Okay.
On the shot.
Okay.
If you're gonna go by shots, I know if they do a drink, so like 3 times 9, 27.
So like you'd be drinking triples.
Yeah.
How would that make you feel with, in combination with the hydromorphs? And
I never did it with the hydromorphs.
no, it was either one or the
it
other.
was either one or the other.
Okay.
The booze is more just for when I didn't have the hydromorphs. And if I was going out, but I didn't go out with people. I always went out mostly by myself and I took scratch and win tickets and took booze and
Yeah.
I would drink and do my scratch wins.
Yeah. Okay. As significant and disturbing as this may be to the people that are going to hear this and learn about this, obviously there's a lot of families that we're going to contact
Yes.
and speak to. Although this wasn't, and I hate to classify it into different areas, but these weren't necessarily violent deaths. Like, do you think these people died peacefully? Did they struggle at all?
All the people you've talked about so far died peacefully, in my opinion. And I am sorry. I'm sorry for what the families went through at the time, and I'm extremely sorry for what they're going to go through. It's awful.
4 victims in, the detective stops asking about method and asks her something no document requires. If the families were listening right now, what would she say to them?
What can you say to them? That would matter. I'm sorry isn't enough. I should have gotten help sooner. I took something from you that was precious and it was taken too soon. I honestly believed at the time that God wanted me to do it, but I know now that's not true. And if I could take it back, if I could get help sooner, I would have. And I'm sorry.
And like I said, I admire you for at least, whether it took 1 year, 2 years, 10 years, whatever it took for you to finally get help, that's a big step.
Oh, thank you.
Right? I mean, you could have been in this situation and taken this to your grave.
Yes.
And who would have known? Right?
That's what I was told to do by a lawyer.
What's that?
Take it to my grave and not tell anybody.
So you've confided in a lawyer as well about this?
A long time ago, yeah.
Was it after all of these people?
It was in 2014 before
Before you went to Welland? Or,
yeah,
sorry, to
the Welland
rehab center?
Yeah, to the rehab center.
So you spoke to a lawyer?
I spoke to a lawyer, and she was the one who told me to get out. I need to go to the bathroom.
So Gladys, so this takes us to November of 2011 at Crescent Care. It says here Gladys was a type 2 diabetic and had dementia.
Severe dementia.
Did she? Yeah. How old do you think Gladys was?
92.
92. Okay. And where was Gladys within Crescent Care?
East wing, 3 doors down from the main desk, in a double room.
Okay. Do you remember her roommates at all?
No.
No. Okay. And obviously these are repetitive questions, and
Yeah.
you might remember some of the roommates throughout as we go along here, so that's why I just keep asking the same questions. Tell me a little bit about Gladys. What was she like when you cared for her?
Well, when I first started caring for her, she was walking and talking, and she had quite the spirit. She once punched a man.
Oh.
Because she overheard the nurses telling one of the gentlemen, no, you can't push your wife around, you have to come with us. And she turned around and she said, you can't treat a woman like that. Boom!
And hit the man.
And hit the man. So then we're all in a state of trying to keep them from fighting with each other and trying to keep them from hurting us.
Right.
Yeah, she was very spunky. But she went downhill fast.
Did she?
Eventually, she had dementia, didn't take her pills well, didn't eat well, very stubborn woman. And as always, one evening I just got that red surging feeling that she was going to be the one. And gave her insulin overdose.
Did you ever get that feeling outside of work?
No, never.
No? Did you ever get that feeling going to work, knowing that something was going to happen that shift?
No, it always happened at work.
So, if I were to use the phrase spur of the moment, would it be something that you would just have that feeling come on, or?
Yeah, I guess you
Would
could
it
say
build up?
for the moment, but it usually start happening, you know, focused on one patient, and then I would feel that red surging, which is what made me think it was God. Which I'm so embarrassed.
Like I said, I'm not here to judge you, right?
I know.
Right?
I know.
You said, you explained that it was difficult for, towards the end, giving her pills. Do you remember what you were working with, the shift when you injected Gladys?
I believe I was working, I was either working nights or days,
Okay.
because I know it was close to the end of my shift.
Okay.
But I did it, and the person who came on next shift, I think it was nights. So the person who came on next shift checked her all over and called the doctor and had her made palliatives and started her on a pain regimen. And
Do you remember how much insulin you gave her?
no, I don't.
Do you remember if it was long or short or a mix?
I probably, at that point, I think I was giving everybody a mix.
Okay, so once Mary was the first person, you said
Yeah.
that you gave the long and the short acting to,
Yeah.
and then following that it was
Everybody.
everyone from there
Yeah.
forward. And that was again at Crescent Care.
Yeah.
Was that insulin taken from the same location as you always would?
Yes.
Okay. Was there cameras in
In the bedrooms? No.
No?
No.
Nothing at all?
No.
Okay. So you could access whatever you like and...
Well, not whatever you like, but yeah.
But the
within
insulin,
reason.
because
The
you said they
insulin.
didn't even keep track of it.
The insulin, yeah, the insulin, you could get Valium, you could get, like, injectable Valium. Yeah, it was fairly easy to take meds from there.
And we'll get into, I'm sorry, I was going to ask you a question, but we'll get into that a bit down the road. You know how long it took for Gladys to die?
I believe she died the next afternoon, or that afternoon.
And you know if you were present for that?
No, I was not.
So therefore wouldn't have been a part of the process of the pronouncing and checking the boxes?
No, no.
Um,
When someone's dying, it seems like it takes longer than it does. If you're around, if you know what I mean.
I do.
Yeah. So. I'm sorry that you don't know.
Thank you. As far as Gladys goes, do you remember if you worked the next day to learn about Gladys' death, or?
I think I worked 2 days later.
Okay.
I think I worked the day after her death, whenever that was.
Okay. What would play through your mind on your days where you inject, so Gladys, for instance, you inject her, you work nights, it says here, so
Yeah.
11 till 7. You did this at 5 o'clock. You go home and carry it on about, if you have 1, 2, 3 days off, whatever
Yeah.
the case was. What was going through your mind on those days off? Were you thinking, when's Gladys going to die?
I would wonder if she had died. I would wonder, you know, if this would be the time I would get caught. You know, what was I going... Every time I walked in after somebody who passed away, I always wondered, is this the day I'm going to get caught?
What kind of consequences play through your head? Like if damn, I'm caught and the gig's up. What kind of consequences do you think you're going to face if that were to happen back in 2011?
Fired, jail, no more nursing license. That's exactly what I'm looking at now. Although I took myself out instead of being fired, but
Right.
jail and no more nursing license.
As far as in 2011 though, and having that feeling, like when did those feelings start to say in your mind, like, I wonder if this is the time I'm going to get caught? Did it happen right at Mr. Silcox, or did it?
Yeah, probably every time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And Gladys, do you think, did she have a reaction when you injected her?
She fought a little bit.
Did she?
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
Like she struggled around, so I kind of fought on her leg that I could do where she couldn't reach me and pinch me.
Okay. Would that be something difficult if you were giving her medication? She'd like you to pinch?
Pinch, scratch, feel up her mouth.
Is that common in patients?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And like even the PSWs who had to change her product, sometimes she'd fight them and scratch them and pinch them and twist their hair and yeah.
think that played into any part of your actions with Gladys, particularly with Gladys?
I don't know, I think some of it did, you know, the stubbornness and stuff, and yeah, just kind of, okay, you're the next one to go. But again, there was always that red surging that I identified as God telling me, this is the one. You know, this is how you work for me.
Did you ever try and fight that feeling?
Later on, as you'll see.
Okay. But when you got that feeling in your chest and stomach, would you directly go to get the insulin?
Pretty much, as soon as I had time with the rest of my job.
How many patients would you be caring for
32.
On one shift?
32.
You'd be responsible for all 32?
Yeah, 32.
So each nurse would have 32?
Yeah, nurse, our registered practical nurse.
Okay. So that's a busy day. And I know we talked about it earlier, but again, just to revisit that, do you think that's something that played into this?
I think
the
so.
Stresses of the job?
Oh yeah, I definitely think
Because you
so.
had a lot going on in your life.
Yeah, I definitely think the stress played into it. Maybe made my mind more susceptible to stuff.
Did you ever go to work intoxicated by alcohol or drugs at all?
No.
Did you ever use at work?
Yeah.
The hydromorphs?
Yes.
Often?
Probably once or twice a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you were at Crescent Care, where would you get the hydromorphs from?
Oh, there's a number of ways you can get them.
Right.
You can sign off that somebody wanted a PRN and take it instead.
Okay.
You can take them their regular medication, and if they're not able to identify it, take it instead.
Okay.
You can take the regular medication that's in capsules, and if they are able to identify it, open the capsule, take the stuff out, put the capsule back together again, give them the empty capsule, take it yourself.
And how would you typically ingest the hydromorphs?
I just swallowed it. I never shot it. I never snorted it.
Yeah. Okay. And do you remember how much you gave Gladys?
Of the insulin?
Mm-hmm.
I think I gave her 80/60. I think.
And her reaction after she kind of pinched and struggled a little bit with you?
She relaxed, and then by the time the next nurse came on, she was red, she was sweating, she was incoherent. Her vital signs were all down.
And how do you know that?
Because I was just leaving when the next nurse came on, and PSWs came to her and said something's going on with Gladys, and she said, "Come with me, we have to go check on Gladys."
And
So, yes, I actually helped her move Gladys to the palliative care room.
Okay. And do you
Scared out of
remember
my gourd the whole time that she was going to say was something I did.
thinking, okay, was she still able to communicate at that point?
No.
Do you remember what nurse that was that you moved?
Karen? I don't remember her last name. If I sat for a minute, I could probably remember it.
Hope it comes to you. Might just be one of those things that pops in your head in a few moments, right?
Yeah. Rutledge.
Karen Rutledge?
Yeah.
She's still there?
Yep, as far as I know.
A gap of nearly 2 years. She says she spent it trying, through faith, to stop, reading her Bible, going to church, telling herself the urge wasn't God after all. It didn't hold, and the reason it broke is the next name on the document.
Okay. Mrs. Helen Young. So this is where you have a bit of a gap again, from
Yeah.
2011 to 2013 with your successful injections, but there wasn't even any attempt.
No. In November 2011, I came home from a cruise of the Caribbean, and I was feeling guilty. I was feeling damned. I was feeling confused. I was feeling like I just didn't want to do it anymore. I was feeling like if I could somehow connect with God strongly enough that I wouldn't do it anymore. And so I spent a lot of time reading my Bible and praying and deciding I just wasn't going to do it anymore. So I had the odd urge to do it, but I resisted by going to church, reading my Bible, praying, and telling God I didn't believe him, that he wanted me to do it anymore.
What church were you going to that point? Where's that? Oh, okay. Yep.
Yeah.
So as far as fighting off that, would you still have that feeling, like that burning feeling?
Sometimes, but I did a lot of praying about it, and I just did a lot of praying, reading my Bible, getting very involved in my faith, getting very involved in my church.
Right. Okay. And obviously, with what you've told us so far, that it helped,
Yeah.
what you've documented.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that we need to be aware of that happened in between those times?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
I didn't tell anybody or anything like that.
Okay. Except for the pastor, sorry, when did you...
That was, I told him after Helen Young.
Okay.
He was after Helen Young.
I'm just going to turn this off because it keeps vibrating, and I apologize for that.
That's okay. I may fart and I'll have to apologize for that.
There we go. So that was after Helen. Right. Okay. So Helen was at Crescent Care. Where was Helen's room?
She was on A side. I had been transferred to A side, which is a new unit, like, well, relatively new, 10, 12 years old. I was on the first floor. I was the charge nurse for the first floor, and she was in the room closest to the nurse's station.
Okay. Where was that like for me going to Crescent Care, would it be closer to Fife or closer to North Ave side, or?
So there's the retirement home. There's the wall that joins the retirement home to the nursing home. There's North Wing. There's South Wing. There's East Wing. And then down at the end of the hallway of East Wing is Unit 1 and Unit 2 in the building right on top of each other.
And what was the purpose of that area of Crescent Care?
Oh, it was all single rooms.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Helen was in her own room?
Helen was in her own room, yeah. It was all single rooms, that area.
All right. And Helen was a type 2 diabetic with dementia?
Yeah.
Okay. Tell me a little bit more about Helen.
Helen was miserable. She frequently yelled out, "Help me, nurse." She frequently yelled out she wanted to die. She just was not happy with her life. She would wheel around in her wheelchair saying, "Help me, nurse, help me, nurse, help me, nurse, help me, nurse." And when you went to help her, what do you want help with? Nothing. Get away with me. Go away. Help me, nurse, help me, nurse. Didn't want to eat, didn't want to drink. Very difficult to deal with. Constantly would yell out, or we'd say, "What do you want help with?" "I want to die. Why can't you help me die? I want to die." And one night, it was like something snapped inside, and that red surge came back, and I thought, okay, you will die. So, I gave her a shot. I came up to her and said, "This is for your pain," and I gave her a shot of long-acting or short-acting, and she started to settle down. And then, later on, we put her into bed, and I gave her more of the insulin. I think it was long-acting. She had a seizure. She turned red. She was diaphoretic. The PSWs called me to the bedside. I took all of her vital signs, and I pretended to take her blood sugar. Because I said, "Oh, it's normal. Don't worry about it."
How did you go about that with people beside you?
They're PSWs. Don't let anybody see that part of the...
PSWs?
No, but what I mean by that is PSWs, nurses focus on the meds
Right.
and treatment.
Okay.
PSWs focus on Like, they were busy. They were busy washing her, they were busy changing her, they were busy dealing with the fact that she was having diarrhea. They were not doing the part of the job I was doing,
Right.
so they never would have noticed. Where's my burger? So they never would have noticed, me not taking the blood sugar. Because I took her, like, I did her pulse, I did everything else, so they wouldn't have noticed that I didn't do that because they were busy with everything else.
Okay, and you just...
And I just said, oh, blood sugar's good, 5.6, she's good.
Which is a number that in your mind you knew was average and nothing concerning the 5.6 or whatever you said?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember what shift you were working at this point?
Afternoons. I was straight through to 11s. At that point, I was straight through to 11 on that ward.
Okay.
So it started a little bit before that.
Yeah. Okay. And that would have been an individual room, as you said?
Yes.
And do you remember when Mrs. Young died?
1 to 2 days afterwards.
Okay. Do you know if you were present for that?
No, it wasn't.
Was there a different procedure at all when people passed away in that wing opposed to where you were prior to?
No, it was all the same nursing home. It was all the same policies.
Okay.
It was just that that wing of the nursing home was built to accommodate the fact that the owner took over Norvilla in Norwich.
Okay.
So everybody from Norvilla got moved to the new part of the nursing home.
Okay, gotcha.
So that's the only reason. And then eventually they all got mixed together.
Right. Okay. So being that it had been a few years then, when you injected Mrs. Young and you were successful in causing her death, how did it make you feel after those few years that these urges and these feelings had come back?
I felt horrible. I felt angry at myself. I felt like I had failed myself. I felt like God had failed me.
Did you continue to practice in the church?
I continued going to church, yes.
Did you believe in as much as
I did, but I was getting very confused. So it was soon after that I went to the pastor and told him what had happened. And he prayed over me, and because he said that was the last thing he would have thought of me, and his wife was there too, and they prayed over me, and they said to me, now this is God's grace, but if you ever do this again, we will have to turn you into the place.
And where would that conversation have taken place? At the church?
In their house, at their kitchen table. And I kept going to their church.
And how detailed did you get with the conversation?
Oh, I told him that I was taking people's lives by giving them insulin overdoses.
What were you specific with names? How much insulin when you were doing this?
No.
How many people?
I don't know if I told him how many people, just that I was doing it and I wanted to stop.
And his response was to pray for you and pray over you?
Just put his hands on me and have him put his hands on me and pray.
What religion did that church practice? Okay.
Yeah.
Did Helen have any family that you recall that would come
Yes,
visit her?
she had a niece that loved her very much and was there at least twice a week.
Did you ever converse with her?
Before she died, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How old was she?
I'm saying late 50s, early 60s.
The niece?
The niece, yes.
And then Helen, her son?
90.
Alright. Did you speak to her following Helen's death, her niece?
What?
Okay, what was that?
I think it was a day or two after when she was gathering her stuff, and she cried on my shoulder and thanked me for being a good nurse.
And again, the feelings that you had at that point?
Oh, guilt, shame, anger, like I had betrayed her. And not that I was betrayed, but betrayal, that I betrayed her.
And did you display any emotion at that point to her?
I just, gave her a hug back and said I was so sorry. But at that point, I was getting very confused about was this God and was it not.
And when you resumed doing this, did you have any, besides the religious feelings that you were having, did you have any other personal feelings in your mind as far as knowing the difference between right and wrong again?
Yes, I knew the difference between right and wrong. But I thought this was something that God or whoever wanted me to do it. I was starting at that point to doubt that it was God.
Okay. When you resumed doing it?
Yeah.
Okay. Was anyone working with you on that day that you can recall?
The PSWs, but I don't remember their names.
Okay. How many would have there been?
3.
Okay.
There would have been students too, I think, but I can't remember.
And there would have been 32 patients in that wing as well?
Yes.
That you were responsible for?
Victim 7, Maureen Pickering, March 2014. And, by Wettlaufer's own account a moment later, the only one of the 8 she says she planned before her shift even started, rather than deciding in the moment.
March of 2014, this is Maureen Pickering at Crescent Care.
Yes.
Tell me about Maureen.
Maureen was a handful. She would attack other patients. She would pull their hair. She would hit them. She would pinch them. Eventually, it was decided that she needed a one-on-one staff. So sometimes they would book an extra PSW to be with her. Sometimes someone would come from the outside to be with her. But when one wasn't available, it was the role of the charge nurse. And that was nuts. Sorry. That's just absolutely nuts. So, she just got harder and harder to look after. And when I had to look after her, I got this idea. I thought, I'm starting to get the feeling of that surge again. I thought, no, I don't want her to die. But if I could somehow give her enough of a dose to give her a coma or something to change her brain waves, maybe make her less mobile, hard to handle, left-handed, hard to handle.
Right.
So, I overdosed her.
And was that in the same wing?
Yes, she was right across. She had gone into the room that Helen had been in. Yeah, she was right across from the nurse's station.
And as well, obviously, a single room at that point?
Yeah. That night she stroked. She had a severe stroke. She went to the hospital. And when she came back, she was there at the nursing home for a few days, and she died. But before she came back from the hospital, I was fired from Crescent Care for medication errors that had nothing to do with this.
When you got transferred into this A wing, did you still get the medication the same way? The insulin the same way?
Yeah, because there's insulin purchase there.
Okay. And so, sorry, Maureen, Mrs. Pickering, was transferred from Crescent Care to the hospital?
And then
back to
back,
Crescent
yeah.
Care. What was the time frame there, do you remember?
2 days, I think.
And
But they knew that she was totally vegetative when she came back.
so she was basically coming back to pass away in
Yeah.
Crescent Care?
Yeah.
Was she put in palliative care when she returned?
No, she had her own room.
Okay.
The palliative care room was for people who didn't have their own room,
Right.
so that families could go and be with them
Okay.
and not disturb the other residents and not be disturbed by the other residents.
Right. Do you remember how much insulin that you gave to Mrs. Pickering?
It was a lot. I'm going to say 80 long-acting and 60 short-acting, something like that. It was a lot of insulin.
Why so much to her?
Wasn't sure if she would die or not, and I really wanted to make sure that their mind was changed a bit before she came back to us.
So the insulin caused her
A stroke.
and then the reason to travel to the hospital.
Yes.
Do you remember any reaction from her when you were injecting her?
No, none at all.
Do you remember what part of the body that you injected her?
Her arm.
Left, right?
Left. Left up.
And no reaction
Oh yeah, the first time I gave it to her, she said, "Hey, what was that for?" And I said, that's your vitamin injection."
Which is, like I said, that you would typically tell people?
Yeah.
Okay. How long in between when you gave her the next dose?
Probably an hour and a half, 2 hours.
And that was about, what time did you say, sorry?
Oh, I don't know.
You were still working in the afternoon, right?
Yeah, 8 or 9 at night.
Okay, yeah, so it's here at 8 o'clock. You gave her 80 units for napkin, that's not.
Yeah.
Did Miss Pickering, do you recall any family that she had?
She had 2 friends that came and saw her a lot. She had a boyfriend that would come and see her.
Okay. How old was she?
82.
How old was her boyfriend?
Oh, I have no idea.
No?
No.
But he would come on a regular visit?
He would come and visit, yeah.
Was there any restrictions on visiting practices at all? Certain hours?
Basically, no. If they wanted to come late at night, they had to let us know.
Okay.
So we could let them in and out.
Okay.
And that was more for tired people.
Right.
But no, there was no real restrictions. I mean, there was the odd patient who had a restriction, like they can't leave the building with this person, or they can't leave the building with that person, or so-and-so shows up, call the police, that sort of thing.
Do you remember if you were present when she passed away?
I was not. I'd already been fired.
Okay, so sorry, between the time that she... When were you fired?
Late March, early April.
Was it when she was at the hospital? Or did she come back and then...
She had come back and then I was fired.
And then she
But,
lived for a few more days?
Yeah.
You were fired in the meantime?
yeah,
And she passed?
for something that had nothing to do with her. And my timeline may be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
It may have been February,
Mm-hmm.
because I know by the middle of April I was working again at Meadow Park Nursing Home.
And that's in London.
Yeah.
What was the cause of your firing then? Sorry, there was a medication against that, right?
I had a few medication errors, and strangely enough, not on purpose, one of our residents was missing her long-acting insulin that she got at supper,
Okay.
and it was coming from pharmacy, but I wanted to make sure she got her insulin,
Mm-hmm.
so I took insulin from another person who I thought was the same insulin, but it was short-acting,
Mm-hmm.
and it gave her a seizure because she wasn't used to it, and she was okay. We helped her, and she was all right.
Okay.
But when they figured it out, I was fired because I had other medication errors as well. No, different things. Eye drops, just a lot of different stuff.
And what do you think that was a result of?
What, med error?
Mm-hmm.
The workload. Yeah.
Was it anything to do with, were you still using it at this point?
You know what? I never made a work trip. I never made a med error when I was using it at work. Never.
Just had you focused.
Yeah.
Did you ever commit any of these deaths when you were using?
No. None of them.
So no med errors, no deaths.
When I was using it.
You're using it was all the feeling in your chest and your stomach and
Yeah.
your
The
sore.
surging and yeah. And then the laughter afterwards, which was really, it was like a cackling from the pit of hell, if that makes sense.
Did the cackling continue when Mrs. Young was injected with insulin? After that 2-year break?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, it is. It's the same
feeling,
cackling.
Same cackling?
Same feeling, same cackling.
So then did you work anywhere between Crescent Care and Meadow Park?
No.
Okay, did you go directly from one to the other?
Pretty much, within a month.
And would those medication errors be documented in a reference letter, or
No.
were you made aware of anything like that? That Meadow Park would be aware of the reason why you were let go
I
from
told
Crescent
the person that hired me at Meadow Park, she told me she had found my resume somewhere,
Care? Okay.
because I never applied to Meadow Park.
Oh, really?
But she had found my resume somewhere, and she called me because they needed a nurse.
Oh, okay.
So when we did our interview, her name was Heather, I forget her last name, she's not there anymore. When we did our interview, she said to me, "Why did you leave?" And I told her, I said, "I'll be absolutely honest with you. I was fired for med errors." And she said, "Well, tell me about them," and I did. And she said, "Okay, well, I believe in second chances, so you're hired."
After admitting to the medication errors, Wettlaufer should not have been hired, but her story seems to be a constant string of poor judgment and improper protocols that allowed her to commit this string of murders.
Full-time afternoons, and it was a 1-year contract.
Okay. And how long were you unemployed for then?
A month,
Just a month?
yeah.
Okay. And would you commute back and forth, or did you still live in Woodstock at the time?
I still lived in Woodstock and I commuted back and forth.
For straight afternoons?
Yeah.
What was that? What were the hours for the straight afternoons?
Either 2:30 to 10:30 or 3 to 11.
Okay.
I'm not sure which it was.
So when you got to Meadow Park, what was the difference as far as the workflow of the patients that you were responsible for? Were
No
they similar?
difference. It was extremely similar. The only difference was that the RPNs would do the, if there were dressings that had to be done at night, they'd do the dressings on the people at night that were my people.
Okay.
But other than that, yeah.
And your supervisor at that point at Meadow Park, was that the same person that hired you, Heather? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
She was the nursing supervisor.
Okay, so she'd be her direct supervisor.
Yeah.
The 8th and final name on the murder list, Arpad Horvath, Meadow Park, London, August 2014. 7 years after Silcox, in a different city, at a different home, still nobody had noticed. This is the last confirmed death before the confession that ends all of it.
So, Arpad, or Art Horvath,
Yes.
tell me a little bit about her.
He was mean. He would grab the nurses and PSWs whenever they were trying to do things for him. He would grab them, he would twist their arms, he would punch them. Very difficult to do care for. And one night I just got that surgery, like, "That's it, you need to go."
Had he done something that night?
No, not really, just been his normal self. And he fought the first needle. And then the second needle I got in. And I forgot something about Maureen. I had given her a dose of whatever we dosed her with to calm her down before I ever gave her the insulin. Forgot about that. So I had done that.
So you
Is
gave her
that in there?
About Maureen?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I had given her a sedative dose before I ever gave her the insulin.
Oh, you said you gave her Halidol.
Yeah.
Yeah, you recall doing that?
Yes, I did.
And then the 2 insulin injections.
Yeah.
Did the Halidol calm her? Do you remember?
No, it didn't. So Art, I gave a large amount of short-acting, a large amount of long-acting in between each other. And then when I left for the night, he was still okay. When I came back the next day and worked, they said that he had had a stroke, severe stroke, and gone to the hospital. And the nurse that I talked to who'd been on the night before, she said, "Do you know how low his blood sugar was?" And I said, "How low?" And she said, "Oh, like 1 point something." And then she said, "But you know what? I went home and I did some research, and sometimes having a bad stroke can make your blood sugar go low."
Really?
Yeah, that's what she said to me.
That was odd, too.
Yeah, that was odd. But, yeah, so he lived for a couple of days and then he passed.
Do you remember what nurse that was? The first one?
It was the night nurse. Little short Filipino lady. That's what I remember.
Okay. And do you remember what time of the night that you had injected her?
I'm gonna say 7:30 and then 9:30.
Okay. And his reaction to it?
He fought it.
Did he?
Yeah, but he fought everything.
Would you ever, when you were doing this, did you ever speak to these people when you were injecting them?
No.
Would you ever say anything to them?
Not unless they asked me what I was doing, then I did say it was a vitamin injection.
But having that, and I know it's documented in here a few times, having that feeling of anger and frustration, would you ever,
No,
you would never state anything to vocalize your anger towards that person as you were injecting them?
no, never.
And then, where did you inject him?
His arm and his thigh.
Okay. And what were you telling him at that point that you were giving him? Did he ask?
It's just come on up, settle down, you need to have your medicine. And eventually I put it into him.
And was there an immediate reaction to him at all? Did he stroke right away?
No, he didn't stroke till I left.
Okay. And then that's when you came in the next day and had the conversation with that Filipino nurse?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright.
Sorry, I don't remember her name.
It's okay. The 4 or 5 days later when he passed away, do you remember if that was back at Meadow Park or was it in the hospital?
It was in the hospital.
So he never came back?
It may have just been 2 or 3 days. It seemed like it was 4 or 5.
Mm-hmm.
And his family was devastated. Absolutely devastated.
What was his health like at that point? Prior to
Other
injecting him?
than dementia, he was fairly strong. He was in a wheelchair, but he was a good eater and he was strong. And
How old was he?
I'm going to say maybe 78.
Okay. And who was his family members?
He had a son named Art who did stand-up comedy.
Oh, no way. Okay.
Yeah, like I think it was just like open mic night.
Right.
And then his wife.
Okay. That's it?
That's all I remember. I know he had other, but that's the only ones I remember.
The interview breaks here for several minutes. When it resumes, they return briefly to Horvath before moving to the names Elizabeth Wettlaufer herself, listed as people who didn't die, the section of the document no investigator asked her to write.
So we left off with Art, Mr. Horvath, at Meadow Park Nursing Home. And I don't think we ever covered this off. Meadow Park is in London, right?
Yes,
I'll be
that's
talking
right.
about commuting, right? Okay. All right. Is there anything else you remember about Art at all?
Not really. Well, he was a big game hunter.
Was he?
And he had pictures of it all over the walls in his room.
Yeah. Did you ever converse with these people, like what they did for work and that type of thing? Like, would you remember details like that? Like Art, for
Well,
instance.
Art was a big game hunter. Maurice, I don't know. James, I don't know. No, I guess he never really did.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And at Meadow Park, where would you get the insulin there?
Again, from the medication fridge.
Okay.
And using a spare insulin and eat meals.
And again, it wasn't tracked?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Why is that?
I don't know. Insulin's not something that's usually tracked.
Right. And just because it's not a concern to the homes?
Yeah. I mean, I think it is now. I know some homes track it now.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Just a question out of curiosity. Just my lack of knowledge of it, that's all.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you have a portion of your, on the 4th page of this document that you wrote out, and before you turn, when did you write this out? I know it's dated the 24th of September.
Yes, that's when I wrote it out.
You wrote this full document at that point?
24th and 25th.
Where were you at that point?
I was at the CAMH.
And what made you prepare this document?
The doctor suggested to me that I should.
Okay.
Not to give to the police, but he said that if I wrote it out, it would be a good part of my therapy.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
and did take a large amount of pressure off me and helped me to really clarify the fact that no, it wasn't God, it was something wrong with me psychologically that was making me believe that it was God. It really helped me to clarify that.
And the original of this document?
Is in my knapsack in the back of your car.
And we'll get down the road at that point, but is providing us with the original document something you'd be willing to do?
Yes.
And we'll get to that.
Do you have a stamp that you can stamp it as the original?
I don't even think we'll need to do that. We'll have you sign a consent form and but we'll get to that.
Okay.
Only if you're willing, of course. You have a portion on the 4th page here, and it's titled People Who Didn't Die.
Mm-hmm.
What can you tell me about?
Okay, Clotilde Adriano.
Okay.
She was the first person I ever gave extra insulin to.
Okay.
I think I gave her 40, and I just, again, there was that surging, but it wasn't so much that I wanted her to die. It was more let's see what happens. And I did that to her on more than one occasion.
Okay.
Albino was...
Sorry, she was prior to Mr. Silcox, right?
Yes.
So this was the very first person that you
Yes.
injected with insulin?
Yes.
Okay. And we're at Crescent Care?
At Crescent Care.
And her room was where?
Her room was in the east wing, second door on the left. Then east wing, first door on the left was her sister Albina. She was diabetic.
Okay.
She was October 2007.
Sorry, that was her sister?
Clotilde and Albina were sisters, yes.
Oh, okay.
Then there was Wayne. He was on the north wing. He had dementia. He was diabetic. He could be uncooperative. And I gave him a large overdose because I thought it was his turn to go.
That was Wayne?
That was Wayne.
And sorry, how old was... Sorry, and I hate to go back. I just have a few more questions. How old was Clotilde?
Clotilde was 90 or so.
Okay, and her sister?
Albina was probably 82.
And did they have family that would come and visit?
Yes, yes,
All right.
very much so.
Who would that be that would come to visit?
Clotilde, I think it was her daughters, and Albina was her husband.
These two names, Clotilde and her sister Albina, both diabetic, are her first attempts, months before Silcox. She was testing doses on real, living patients before her first confirmed murder ever happened, which means the killing didn't start with a decision to kill. It started with a test on two sisters in adjoining rooms.
30 to 40 extra.
And then Wayne, how old was Wayne, sorry?
I'd say 60.
Okay, oh, so he was younger.
He had developmental challenges, as well as dementia, as well as being diabetic, as well as being a handful. He wanted to die. So again, that one night I just felt that surging, but he didn't die.
How would you know he wanted to die?
He would say it sometimes, that he just wanted to go.
Where was Wayne in the Crescent Care?
He was in room 8, which is the men's ward down at the end.
So 8 or A?
8.
The number?
8 north. 8 north.
All right. And would that be roommates in there as well?
Yes.
Do you know who he was roomed with?
No.
All right. And Mike with Huntington's disease?
That was 2009.
What is that disease?
It robs you of your body and you still have your mind. You get progressively more agitated, you get progressively more psychotic, and you're in a wheelchair and you've got all these movements that you can't control. It's a horrible disease.
And how old was Mike?
He was 54. And again, one night I just felt that surging and I thought, now this must be God because this man is not enjoying his life at all. So I gave him a large amount of insulin. I think I gave him 90 total.
Did he ever do anything to harm you?
No, never.
Did Wayne?
No.
Albina?
No.
Clotilde?
No.
This takes us to a different location, Telford Place in Paris. That's obviously Paris, Ontario, correct?
Yeah.
Outside of kind of Brantford, Woodstock area.
2016 winter.
Okay, and that was Sandra?
Yeah. And
How old was Sandra?
Sandra, I think she was in her 70s.
Okay. And Telford Place, what was the breakup of the rooms there? Where was she located?
She was down the wing, straight down from the nurse's desk, about 2 doors on the left.
Okay.
And she had 3 roommates.
Okay. And she described her a little bit of personality in her.
Tall, not very well. She didn't walk anymore. She had a good sense of humor. She often said she didn't want to be there. And so one night I gave her an insulin overdose. But she survived because the nurse that came on next went to check on her to do something else and noticed that she was sweaty and took her blood sugar and saved her life.
Okay. And how did these other people survive?
It just didn't, Clotilda and Albina, they found them to have they found them to have low blood sugar and they gave them stuff to raise it. And Wayne and Mike, they just survived. It was never found out.
Was there anything to do with the gender, male or female, that this insulin, the effect of it, or was it just, again, just depended on the makeup of their body and their health? And
yeah, not that I know of if it has anything to do with gender.
The nurse who saved Sandra,
yeah.
Was there anything that ever came back on you?
No.
Any retribution, consequences?
No, she never figured it out that I know of. She even asked me about it and asked if I thought she'd done the right thing.
Who was that? Do you remember her name?
Diane, I don't remember her last name.
And what were you working at that point? What shifts were you working at Telford Place?
Whatever I got called in for. I was actually working for a nursing agency at that time called Lifeguard Agency, and I was sent to Telford as a lifeguard.
I see. So you were never employed by Telford Place?
No, I was employed by Lifeguard, and I would go to Telford and to other places as well.
Okay. And that's when you got involved with St. Elizabeth as well, right? When you were with Lifeguard?
Yeah. I was only with St. Elizabeth like a month and a half before I quit.
Okay. 2016 of August, which is not too long ago, you're employed with St. Elizabeth, it says here.
Yeah, I was frustrated with my job. I had a huge workload, having to learn a lot of new things, just a lot of frustration. The weekend that this happened, I had all of the people that I had to look after. Most of them were in Ingersoll. I didn't know any of them. And on the Saturday I went in and I was doing my care. And this is really the only one that was pre-planned, because on Saturday I went in and I was doing care on Beverly. I noticed that she had a PICC line, which is a line that takes medication straight to your heart, and that she was diabetic. And so the next day when I went in, I was really frustrated, and I could just really feel the surging and the laughing, and I gave her a huge amount. I gave her, I think it was 180, three doses of 60 through the PICC line.
Did she question that at all?
No, because I used one to rinse the PICC line, one to put into her antibiotics, and one to rinse the PICC line again. And she survived. She was fine the next day.
Did you go see her the next day?
No, but I was able to check it on my computer because she was seen every day by a nurse.
Okay.
So I could go into the tablet from work and see how she was.
Okay. And that was just a computer program used by St. Elizabeth?
Yes.
I see. Okay.
On their own tablet.
Okay. And these other people, where did you inject them?
Their arms.
All of them?
All of them, yeah. Sandy was probably her leg, but she was a little bit more difficult.
In August of 2016 then with Beverly, you don't remember Beverly's last name?
No, I don't. I don't even remember if her first name was Beverly.
Oh, okay.
I could probably, I don't know if I could tell you the weekend it was or not.
But she lived in Ingersoll?
Yes.
Did she live in a home or?
Yeah, in a home, like
her own residence, I mean, or? Do you remember where in Ingersoll it was?
No, I don't.
No. Okay. How come you have the name Beverly but you're not sure what her name is?
Because I'm not sure if it was Bev or B or...
I gotcha. Okay. Okay. And that was the only one you had given through the PICC line?
Yes.
Did you know what the result would be compared to a direct injection into an arm or a leg or a thigh?
I'd never done it before. I never looked at it. I had no idea.
Okay.
She went to sleep fairly quickly, and I left. But when I checked the next day to see how she was for the next nurse, there was no change.
How old was she?
She was 63, 64.
And what was her diagnosis as far as her health?
She was diabetic and she had large ulcers on her leg. And she also had a severe infection.
How does that make you feel going through all that?
Awful.
Do you feel like there's a burden lifted off your shoulders?
Yes, I've done the right thing.
Do you feel there's a sense of relief?
Yes. And now I know that it wasn't God. And I'm ashamed of myself that happened, but I also think that it was mental health. You know, I think it was, I wasn't in my right mind. Or I would have been able to tell. I mean, I was raised to believe in God. I was raised from a baby to go to Sunday school, so how could I get such a strong feeling that this is what God wanted, unless it was something wrong with my head?
I know we've talked about what you would say to the families and so on and so forth, but again, I feel terrible for the people that are going to find out in the days and weeks to come about what actually happened to their loved ones, right?
I do. I feel horrible. If there was ever anything I could do so that nobody did this again, I'd do it.
Just a few other things to cover off then. The things that some of these people would do to you, the hitting, the pinching, the grabbing of your breasts, would you ever report that?
Yeah, but yeah, it was always reported and charged on.
And that's documented on their charts?
Yes.
Okay. And was there any, there's obviously never, not obviously, but was there ever any charges or criminal matters that came of any of this at all?
No. That's part of working in the nursing home. That's just what they do. Might even be your fault, dear.
Yeah, you said that.
Mrs. Conbeck.
Yeah. Do you think that might have played a role in your actions?
No.
Maureen, your ex. What was Maureen's last name? When was the last time you talked to her?
I think about, 4 years ago when she wanted money to move back.
Oh.
We were only together for a year.
Okay. So she came here from...
Yes, and brought her 2 kids.
Okay. The teenage kids?
Yeah.
I think you mentioned here in Toronto, Stephen.
Yeah, we got involved with CES with them.
Mm-hmm. When they were here?
Mm-hmm.
Have you... This document that you prepared, Beth, and I know that you had stated the reason why, I guess we call it the breaking point of why you stopped,
Yeah.
was the possibility that you were going to have to be dealing with kids.
Yes, that's right.
Right?
Yes.
Is there anyone else within your career path that isn't listed on these 4 documents, or these 4 pieces of paper, that you'd be responsible for their deaths?
No.
She is asked directly whether there is anyone else beyond the 14 names on the document. She says no. Everything from here forward is corroboration, matching what she's told him against what a search of her own house, already underway, is about to turn up in a spiral binder and a shoebox of photographs.
And, when I came back, I got advice from a lawyer. And then while I was in Toronto, it was in CAMH. Well, I told my friend, before everyone, I told my cousin, I told my friend, and I told my friend. And then while I was in CAMH, I told someone who I thought was a friend. They turned around and called the police to make sure that it had really been dealt with. And I understand that he thought he was doing the right thing. I understand that, but he had said, oh, I won't tell anybody, and I was using him as a resource for support, and he turned around and
Right.
When I'd already, I'd already shared it, so why would he call the police?
So why do you think that none of these people confronted police?
Maybe they didn't believe me. I don't know. Maybe they thought I was doing more something that the patient wanted done.
And as far as believing you, are these close people to you that you've shared other deep, dark secrets with maybe over time?
I would say these are secrets with lots of stuff, yeah.
Because this is a pretty serious thing.
Yes, it is.
Right.
It's horrible.
I'm telling you.
It's the worst thing.
Telling these people, I just find it hard to believe that no one would come forward until, which is 5-6 people down the road, right?
Yeah.
Of having knowledge of it.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah.
And everything that you're telling us is the truth.
Yes, it is.
There's
Yes, sir.
nothing that's been fabricated.
No, sir. No.
And you're sure about that?
I know so.
What would we find in your home? Did you ever document any of this activity at all?
Once in a while I journaled on it. There might be some in my home, but I don't know.
Where were
I
those?
think I threw it out. If it's around, it would be in like a spiral binder in either my desk, my other desk, or my whatchamacallit. Come on. We put files, folders into
In
it.
the filing cabinet?
Yes, filing cabinet, thank you.
Cool.
Yes.
And that's, did you live alone?
Yes, I did.
And stuff? Okay.
Yes. Did you want someone to come with me and look?
Well, to be honest with you, as part of the investigation, there's already been a search warrant executed at your house.
Oh, so the search there's already been a
I
search
don't know what stage it's at because we've been conversing for quite some time.
Okay.
It's probably close to being completed.
Okay.
But I'm just asking, because you've been so cooperative,
Yeah.
and again, I do appreciate that.
Yeah.
I really do. It just makes things a lot easier, right? Advising us where certain things might be. And you said you might have thrown them out.
Yeah.
You might not have.
I might not have kept them. And then at the very end of my coffee table, there's a box, and it's got pictures and a photo album in it. There might be something in there too.
What would be?
A curlicue writing pad.
Okay. What types of things would you document?
Just what I had done, how bad I felt, when it happened. Just trying to figure out what was going on in my head. Yeah.
Searching for answers.
Yeah.
But you're not sure if you have rid of those or not yet?
I thought I got rid of them all, but I don't know if I did for sure.
Okay. Would there be anything else as far as computer documents or anything like that?
There would be, I accessed a computer support group for borderline personality disorder.
Mm-hmm.
It would be on that website.
Oh, it's just an open forum that you could join and,
Yes.
and post comments and
Yeah.
what website was that?
I couldn't tell you, but I could find it on my computer.
Okay. And would that be something that you'd be willing to share with us?
Of course.
Give us consent to
Yep.
look at those documents and computer websites and whatnot?
Yeah.
What's your tattoo mean?
Hopes and dreams.
Does that mean blue?
That I have hopes for the future and dreams of the future.
Yeah. What are your hopes of the future now, after speaking to me over the last few hours?
That somehow, some way I can help somebody. There's got to be somebody wherever I go, jail, penitentiary, there's got to be somebody I can help. Maybe somebody who can't read. Maybe somebody who can't write. Maybe somebody who's done worse than me and feels like it'll never be forgiven. Maybe somebody who's done less than me and feels like it'll never be forgiven. There's got to be something that can come from this. Maybe somebody can study me and come up with answers and new medications so this doesn't happen again. That's my hopes and dreams now.
Is there anything worse than taking someone else's life?
Yes. Child molestation. Absolutely.
Did you feel that you might harm the children and yourself if you were to work with them?
I was afraid that I might get that feeling of wanting to give them insulin overdoses, especially since they were diabetic. And I panicked. And there was no way. I was absolutely not open to that.
Is there anything else that you can think of right now?
No,
No?
I think I did pretty good.
I think you did.
So what happens now?
I'm just gonna get you to sit tight, and we'll arrange to, see what the next steps are.
Oh, okay, I might not be going home then.
I will get back to you with that.
Okay.
We discussed your, original document that's in your backpack.
Yeah.
If I were to prepare a form, which is a consent to search or a consent form, to provide us with those documents, would that be something that you'd be willing to sign?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
There's some stuff in there too that I did with the nurse.
In your backpack?
Yeah.
Okay. What kind of things are those?
Like, it's called a chain link thing, so you start at what you did and you go backwards to how you're feeling, what you could have done different and all that.
Okay. Do you feel that your time at can be trusted?
Yes, very much so.
You received the care that you thought you needed?
Yeah, and an increase in medication, which I feel I needed. Yeah.
All right. Sit tight for a few moments.
Okay.
And I'll be back to you shortly, okay? Again, on my phone, I got 7:39
Okay.
p.m. And let me get back to you with some answers and
Okay.
where we're going from here, okay?
I'd like to go home.
Okay. We'll sit tight and we'll see what's
You
going to
don't
happen.
have to wear any bracelet. I'd like to go home.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Beth.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can someone cut these off with me now?
Yeah, we'll get something to get those off.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, I'll be right back.
Thanks.
I'm sorry, Beth.
That's okay.
You could imagine that things of this nature take some time.
Yeah,
And
I understand.
appreciate your patience with me.
I understand.
Thank you. So, I have 8:02. We're in the home stretch here.
Okay.
Okay, and I can explain to you everything that's gonna go on, okay?
Okay.
Fair enough?
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So, first off, a few things that, and you remember the gentleman who transported us back from Toronto and also Karen,
Yeah.
my partners, that they've just been monitoring and
Right,
taking some
right.
notes and things like that. They're just some things that are concerning and that we just need to firm up, okay?
Okay.
So first off, as I said, there has been a search warrant executed at your residence,
Okay.
and there was some paperwork with regards to a Remington gun, shotgun of some sort.
Oh,
What would that be for?
just to look at it. I like guns.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Do you have any? No.
No. I used to.
Did you? What did you have?
I had a 22.
Yeah. Was that a Remington by chance?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
But my husband had a gun that his dad gave me
Okay.
that we would shoot with, so I could stay at the gun club and shoot.
Mm-hmm.
And when we broke up, I did the paperwork to give it back to him. That might be
Okay.
what they found.
Okay. All right.
I don't have a gun.
There's no firearms in your house right now?
No, sir.
Okay.
No, never will be.
Okay. All right. The username, like what would your username be on that blog that you would write on the support group?
You know what? I'd have to go and look,
Yeah.
honestly.
It's not like your name and a couple numbers or
No.
nickname, anything like that?
No, I'd have to be sitting down in front of the computer to remember it,
Okay.
and even to find the support group.
Okay. These are a bunch of random questions, just all thrown together here. The insulin they used, the short acting, the long acting, was there an actual brand or a make of the insulin that you would use?
Might have been Novulin,
Okay.
might have been Lenovo. Can't remember the other one.
Okay. When you worked with Lifeguard,
Yeah.
I know that you had mentioned they'd send you to certain locations, certain homes.
Yeah.
What were the? There was Telfer Place and there was two others. Was one of them worked over?
There's more than. There was Telfer Place.
Yeah.
That was the very first. Then there was Here, I was gonna look here. Telford Place, Fort Dover, Dovercliff, what it was called. I did, one PSW shift at a place in New Hamburg, but I couldn't tell you the name of it. Also, I worked at, Telford Place and Dovercliff are both owned by the same people, and they have another nursing home in Brantford, but I can't remember the name of it.
That's okay, we can go.
And then Park Lane Terrace in Paris, and Hardy Terrace, I think just outside of Paris. Oh, and what was the other one called? Oh Lord, it's way far out of town. It's like an hour and a half drive from here. My dad grew up in that area. Like it's in the Jarvis area, Simcoe area. It's called, I didn't tell you, I'm sorry, my brain's shot for the night.
That's okay. That's all right.
Yeah. Is my house going to be a mess when I get back?
No.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
think so. No.
Okay.
Not that kind of a, it's not like you see on TV and
Yeah.
hair balls flying everywhere, right?
Yeah.
Your Facebook page, at one point there was a comment, or I don't know where it is in your timeline, about a pediatric nurse. Did you ever work as a pediatric nurse?
Oh, that I was going to be working with the kids.
That's what that referred to within yourself?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. All right. And just go back through the names of people here. So we've got that you've divulged us to, right?
Yeah.
That's your cousin?
That's my cousin.
Okay.
I'm not giving her last name.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Don't.
The lawyer, whose name I cannot remember.
That's okay. Is it a female?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
Who's that?
She was a friend from the nursing home.
What one?
From Crescent Care. I told her after I had stopped the first time. And she stopped being my friend because of it.
Okay.
And
Okay. Where does she work?
she doesn't. She's on ODST.
Did she work at a nursing home with you?
No, never.
Just a friend.
Yeah.
You know where she lives in town?
She lives in Toronto.
Okay. We're gonna wrap things up, but here's what's gonna happen.
Okay.
Okay. And part of this is gonna be up to you. What are your plans going forward from here?
Going forward from here, I want to go home.
Okay.
I want to have a good night's sleep.
Okay.
I want to spend Thanksgiving weekend with my family.
Okay.
And I want to be available to the police at any time they need me.
Okay.
And if I have to come back for trial, I have to come back for trial.
Okay.
I have no plans of leaving. I can surrender my car if you want me to.
Okay. Are your parents, are you close with your parents? Like, what type of
Very
relationship
close.
do you have with them?
Very, very close. I have to tell them tonight what's happened.
With mom and dad?
Yes, they know that I've been in the hospital, but I just told them it was for treatment. But yeah, my plan tonight is to go and talk to them one-on-one, like face-to-face, and tell them.
What do you think their reaction is going to be?
They're gonna be devastated.
What do you
I'm gonna plan on staying the night there, so they have access to me.
Okay. What type of support do you think you're going to get from them?
Eventually, all the support I need.
Okay.
I also plan to go to my AA groups. I had planned on doing 90 meetings in 90 days. And just keep up with, like I plan to, see, one of the things that happens with me is I isolate and then I start to not do well. So I plan to, do the Thanksgiving thing, keep up with my friends, clean my apartment, tell my parents. Those are my plans. I have no plans to leave town. I've done this, and I'm ready to face it, but I would love to go home for a night.
I think that's going to happen.
Bless you.
Okay, I think that's going to happen. As I said at the very, very beginning of this, whatever time we started hours ago, you're not under arrest right now.
Okay.
Okay, but as you can imagine, okay.
Call you back in 30 minutes.
Wettlaufer might not be under arrest right now, but that doesn't mean she will necessarily be free to do everything she has planned.
That was my cousin.
Gotcha. Okay. As I said at the beginning, you're not under arrest.
Okay.
But as you can imagine, an investigation like this is something that we've never dealt with. It's something that doesn't happen very often. It's something that you rarely hear about.
Right.
Okay? I don't know of many, but you're not the first person to do this.
Right.
Okay? Having said that, we have a responsibility to protect the public.
Right.
Right? You know where I'm coming from when I say that?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. You've done some things to some innocent people.
Absolutely.
Some pretty, what people are
horrible things.
People are going to have opinions of you, and people are going to, right, exactly. Having said that, there's something in the Criminal Code of Canada, and this is usually results in someone being charged with a criminal offense and being placed on such a thing called an 810 peace bond.
Okay.
Okay? And basically what an 810 peace bond is kind of a promise given by you or your word given to us, and it's a court document that's issued by a judge that puts you on certain conditions, certain conditions limiting you from doing certain things, having certain things in your possession, attending certain locations, and if you were to breach those conditions,
right,
then you would be arrested and further charged with breaching this, what's called an 810 peace bond.
Okay.
So basically, you've heard of a restraining order?
Yes.
It's similar to that.
Okay.
Okay? A lot of people call them restraining orders, but it's actually in Canada called an 810 peace bond.
Okay.
And again, it just limits you from doing certain things, attending certain locations. It could be things like still getting help for your mental health, your substance abuse,
yes,
surrendering your passport.
I have no passport.
Not practicing as an RN.
Yeah.
Not attending nursing homes, things like that.
Yeah, okay.
If that were an option, which, like I said, usually that occurs with people that are charged people or convicted of certain offenses.
Right.
That's part of their punishment sometimes.
Okay.
Would you be willing to enter into an 810 peace bond prior to being criminally charged?
Absolutely.
Okay. And do you understand what I mean by the 810 peace bond?
Yes,
okay.
yes. It means I have to do it, or I come back and I'm in jail until everything else happens.
I don't know what would happen if you were to breach it as far as jail and the consequences.
Yeah.
The only thing that I want to make sure that it's clear to you and that make sure that I'm getting my point across is that it's basically a document that you're going to swear, sign, and agree not to do certain things, not to have certain things in your possession. And I'm not saying that's going to happen right now.
Okay.
Because it has to go in front of a judge.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so it's just an option that we're looking at because, as I said, we have the responsibility to protect the public.
Yes,
Okay,
absolutely.
that's why I want to know what your plans are.
Yes.
I want to know that you're going to go home and be supported by your family.
Yes.
I want to know that you're
Cell phone
going
will be charged at all times, always on my body if you need me. I will be here, if you need me to come here, I'll be here. If you need me to wait for you to come and get me, I'll do it. I was totally committed.
All right. I think do we have your cell phone number?
519
Yeah.
532 6471.
Okay.
Home phone number is 519 290 0724.
Okay.
Parents' phone number.
Don't worry about that. I'll get that when I'll get your parents when we go.
Okay.
Okay. You understand what we just talked about?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Because it's a very unique situation, right?
Yes.
Where
I'm so thankful.
you confess to certain things.
Yes.
And we have quite a bit of legwork, as you can imagine,
Yes.
to piece this investigation together and see where we go from here.
Okay.
There's a lot of people that will consult in it, and determine the final answer of what your fate is.
Okay,
Okay?
all right.
But I know that you're aware of the extent of what you've done.
Yes,
I know that you've verbalized and spoke about how you feel, and that obviously you can't take it back, but, you know.
I'm relieved that I've confessed it. I feel sorry for the people that are now gonna find out. Sorry doesn't say it.
Yeah.
They should do that as a word bigger than sorry.
Yeah.
Like, Diana sorry or something.
Yeah, something along those lines.
Yeah. I really have to pee, I'm sorry.
On June 1st, 2017, Wettlaufer pleaded guilty to 8 counts of first-degree murder, 4 counts of attempted murder, and 2 counts of aggravated assault. 3 weeks later, a judge sentenced her to life in prison, with no chance of parole for 25 years, the same sentence he could have handed down without a single one of her own words. He chose it because she confessed. If she hadn't walked into a hospital and told a stranger what she'd done, there is a real chance nobody ever would have known, and this interview would never have existed at all. 8 names. 6 more who lived only because of chance, or because one nurse happened to look twice. All of it inside a system that never once checked her math, across 3 nursing homes, over nearly a decade, without a single alarm going off.